Last time, we slapped Windows 98 on this Fisher-Price dinosaur just to see how well it could play retro games. Using Windows 98 in combination of the command prompt, we had some pretty questionable results. This time around, we're going to drop the bricks and try out Windows XP in combination with DOSBox. We're also going to pit the P4 Mobile against a regular Pentium Mobile. If you're new to the channel, I'm in the market for the perfect retro gaming device, and I'm determined to find out if the R40 fits the bill. Let's go ahead and max this ThinkPad out so that XP can take advantage of all that sweet, sweet RAM. This R40's BIOS battery was also dead. When I first obtained this BIOS-based machine, it was clocked at 1.4 GHz and only had 128 megs of RAM. And just like that, we're running at 1.7 GHz and 2 gigs of RAM. After installing Windows XP and doing some preliminary tests, the R40's award-winning audio quality graces us with its legendary crackling and popping. This SoundMax sound card needs help. Time to break out the big guns and introduce an external sound card. Fortunately, since we are strictly using DOSBox, we can go into the config and add a buffer for the sound. Now that we have resolved all the obvious issues, let's torture them like maniacal supervillains. Now these two ThinkPads have the exact same ATI 7500 graphics card with 32 megs of RAM. But let's go ahead and run 3D Mark on them anyway. After running them both through the paces, they scored the exact same. There's no real surprise here. Let's try PC Mark and see how the CPUs compare. And the regular Pentium mobile chip outperforms the P4 by a mere 9 points. Since we are mobile with these ThinkPads, which one would give us the longer playtime on a battery? Wow. The P4 mobile chip is an SUV of a gas guzzler compared to the P1. All that is well and good, but let's look at real-world performance. Going through the game's library, there was very little noticeable difference between these two chips. Testing in DOSBox is moot because both processors are throttling, and Windows Games takes advantage of the 3D card. However, Duke Nukem ran at 105% on both machines and failed to hit 30 FPS full screen. While their scores are pretty close, the Pentium mobile chip wins with its performance and efficiency. So what should we expect when running an assortment of games with a DOSBox Windows XP combo? Lemmings runs flawlessly and emulates the Yamaha OLP chip like a champ. Aces over Europe, the same thing. Very playable despite only reaching 27 frames per second. Sid Meier's Civilization also comes in clean with no issues. Goblins 2 performs solidly. Of course, regular Windows games like Hover play well. Master of Orion plays like a dream. XCOM UFO Defense was so good, I forgot I was filming and ended up playing an entire game. After patching MechWarrior 2, I even got that to run on XP.
Welcome to training, Cadet. I like to think of this lovely place as my home. Now, you wouldn't even think of upsetting me in my home, would you? Of do what I say when I say, and I won't get upset. I do bad things when I'm upset.
Enemy mech destroyed.
The graphic drivers that were questionable on Windows 98 appear flawlessly running XP. Downloading the MyPal browser, I was even able to watch YouTube videos. This laptop plays a ton of games flawlessly, but there are always those quirks that you can't get around. Let's start with Master of Magic. Using DOSBox, it emulates the OLP chip well, but it isn't without random sounds here and there. While battle sequences are now playable, the MIDI freezes when troops make a movement, which can be aggravating to some players.
Dang, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
While Duke Nukem can get up to 26 FPS, the majority of the time it plays around 15 to 18 frames per second.
I'm gonna get medieval on your asses. Holy cow. See you in hell.
Fortunately, there is a Duke Nukem port that Rancid Meat created back in the late 2000s. Going to rancidmeat.com, we can see an error-correct website last updated in 2008. Using this port, I can now play the game as it was intended.
Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride. I'm looking good. Much better.
For entertainment purposes, let's see how well Doom 3 plays. Oh yeah, this game brings the R40 to its knees. And that about does it for this video. I have to say, after so many installs and reinstalls of Windows, XP is the way to go with these machines. Running DOSBox in Windows 98 on the R40 doesn't take advantage of all of its hardware, and the command prompt creates more problems than it solves. Out of the 4 R40s I purchased, I managed to salvage 3. Now I have no use for 3 R40s, that's why I'm going to give them to my subscribers in the future, so keep a lookout for that. If you like this video, or if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. And that about wraps it up. Well, that doesn't help. Get out of here.